confrontation between the Trump administration and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Trump's hand-picked prosecutors opened a criminal investigation into Powell, who fired back in a video statement, calling the investigation political pressure to force the Fed to follow Trump's wishes on interest rates. Elizabeth Schultz at the White House with the latest. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, George. This is really an extraordinary escalation of President Trump's attacks on the Federal Reserve and its leader, Jerome Powell. The Trump Justice Department launching a criminal investigation into Powell, who's now speaking out, saying this threatens the independence of the institution in charge of setting interest rates.
Good evening.
In a rare public statement Sunday night, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell confirming the Fed was served grand jury subpoenas as part of a probe into his testimony about the central bank's building renovation costs. But Powell says what the investigation is really about is retribution.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
Since he took office, President Trump has repeatedly demanded the Federal Reserve slash interest rates. Powell insists the Fed won't bow to political pressure.
This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation.
Overnight, lawmakers denouncing the investigation into Powell. Republican Tom Tillis, a member of the Senate Banking Committee, threatening to withhold his vote for any nominee to replace the Fed chair, writing, if there were any remaining doubt whether advisors within the Trump administration are actively pushing to end the independence of the Federal Reserve, there should now be none. It is now the independence and credibility of the Department of Justice that are in question. President Trump now denying involvement in the investigation, saying, I don't know anything about it, but he's certainly not very good at the Fed. 2 weeks ago, Trump said this.
We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings.
The $2.5 billion renovation of the Fed's Washington headquarters became a target of the president's during a tour of the construction site in July. Powell pushed back, saying Trump cited inaccurate numbers on the cost.
This came from us.
Yes. I don't know who did it.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added in the third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's not new.
So we're going to take a look.
Powell, who Trump